Even if you want to discriminate by your own self, being a human, as I belong to this sect, I belong to this community, I belong to this religion, these are all choices made by you. When there is no something called Indian solar power, American solar power, or Muslim thermal power or Christian thermal power. As there is a power within the sun, as there is power within the water, as there is power within the wind, there is a power within the human body. Spiritual power is not the power that is something which you're going to gain from the heaven or from the sky or from the temple or from the God that you believe. It is the power which is within you. First and foremost, before we talking about the spiritual power, I want everybody to understand what is the very logic or the meaning, or in right word, the significance behind the word called power. The present world, people started thinking controlling someone is called power. I'm a very powerful person. Or we name someone as he's a very powerful person. Power is not to control anybody. Power is to understand at any given point of time, we hold an energy by which we make sure no matter whatever is the situation, that situation is not going to control you. You understand? That's a beautiful process. The situation is not going to control you. So what is spiritual power? Let me put it in the simple understanding. Power. What are all the powers that human are presently using to enjoy the benefit or enjoying the benefit because of the power, which is helping them to live a better life or to see some progress in the present situation? Let's start with sun, we call as solar power. See, what I'm going to say now is not a spiritual concept, but what we're going to talk is science. Science, the other name of science is fact, not faith, which remains the same for everyone. What is solar power? There is a power available in the sun. On a long run, our elders, the human beings who have stepped into this beautiful planet Earth before us, have taken effort to identify there is a process by which we can reserve the solar power and use it in the absence of sun. Please understand. Something you receive in this presence and using it even in its absence. So I will say even the solar power is created only by mind power. Solar by itself never said, please you make use of that power. We can list all beautiful things: solar power, hydropower from water, nuclear power, atomic power, wind power. When it comes to wind power, when you create a windmill, a set of scientific approach, after a set of process, what happens? I create some power using the wind which is present forever. Not only just because I create a windmill, wind is not present. Now, windmill is a system which made human beings to utilize the wind power, which we are not using for all these days. Solar panel is a system which made human beings to make use of the solar system, which is existing for all these days. Same with the hydropower plant, same with the thermal power plant. But look at the very, I don't say it's magical. All this power are utilized by the human being only because of human mind power. There was a mind which once identified, we can make use of all this nature, which is given by this beautiful, divine power or God or cosmic energy, whatever you want to name it, which remains the same for everyone. That's a beautiful fact about the nature. Even if you want to discriminate by your own self, being a human, as I belong to this sect, I belong to this community, I belong to this religion, these are all choices made by you. But still, in nature, you don't have a choice. Solar power remains as a solar power for everyone. Hydropower remains as a hydropower for everyone. There is no something called Indian solar power, American solar power, or Muslim thermal power or Christian thermal power. Or I don't believe in God at all, so for me it works in a different way. In a similar way, somehow we're very clear. There is no second opinion. This is not subject to argument. This is not subject to discussion, because this is not going to change. This is not going to change. Why? Not that we don't want to change it. It cannot change. In a similar way, as there is a power within the sun, as there is power within the water, as there is power within the wind, which is presently utilized, so we call it as solar power plant, wind power or windmill or thermal power plant, hydropower plant. We have failed to understand there is a power within human being also. Somehow the mind is scientifically approached and started making use of power outside the human body. But there is a power within the human body. But this power can be utilized only by your self-effort. Only by your self-effort and only with the commitment to practice the process. Guruji, I don't understand what you mean by this power can be utilized only by the self-effort. You as a human being is a spirit. Many people think only after you die you become a spirit. No. As of now, you are walking, you are talking, you are even listening to what I'm talking, or you are thinking about what I'm speaking is possible only with the physical body in awakened state. I'm not talking about the spiritual awakening. You are not in sleep. You can't say, Guruji, I'm sleeping and listening to you, then you're not sleeping. Ask yourself, because of what your blood is circulating? Is it because of heart? Okay, who is instructing the heart? We call this as a spiritual power. So you want it or not, there is a power which is working for you and functioning for you without your instruction and without your intelligence. Please listen to this. Just because it is happening by its own self, without your instruction and without your intelligence, you never give a space in your living to find who is making it happening for you. It is not a person who is sitting in the sky. There is a God who is sitting in the sky and who is taking care of you all the time and is seeing whoever is doing the mistake. I'm going to punish them. I'm going to put them in the hell after they die. Or I'm going to give them heaven when they come there. Hell and heaven is right now in this planet Earth. If you understand this, only then you will get into the search of spiritual power. What is hell and heaven? Experiencing the experience you don't want to experience in a situation where you have something in your mind as your experience. I'm going for a wedding, or there is a wedding function happening in mind. I have an experience which I want to experience. In that situation, exactly you're experiencing what you don't want to experience. Suddenly, some bad incident in the marriage, or daughter falling sick, or the father of the bridegroom is suddenly meeting with an accident. Unacceptable. Nobody wants to experience that because you have a precise experience what you want to experience as a human. At that moment, if you're experiencing what you never wanted to experience, or a bad experience which you can never even accept in that situation, is called hell. Heaven is not something which is miracle that is going to happen after you die. In the present moment, if you're going through an experience, what you want to experience, or an experience which is giving you comfort or peace, it's called heaven. And this is possible only by spiritual power, not by solar power, wind power, or not even by mind power. In the Western world, today we have so much exaggerated concept about mind power and this power and all this. Drop everything. This power is not a power which is going to help to control anybody. It's going to take control over your own self, which helps you to keep you away from the fear, which helps you to keep you away from the negative thoughts, and above all, which helps you to attain a condition in which no negativity is going to enter your system. Forget about you being positive and radiating positivity to everybody. But you make sure there is no negativity is going to exist in your life by two processes. The existing negativity is removed from you, which is accumulated in your life without your consciousness or without your willingness. And going further, no more negativity is going to get inside your life or into your system. How is it possible? This is possible only by you. Luckily, only by you. No one else can do this for you. Because this is your spirit. You alone can make a conscious connection with it. What is it called? Cosmic consciousness, which means divine in cosmic consciousness. Divine is always present, but in cosmic consciousness, when you go to a state where you are alive and you are also awake, but there is a system by which you reach a state, mind is there, but mind is existing without a thought. So mind is fully conscious about the consciousness, which is the source of every creation. In that space, divine in cosmic consciousness is going to change everything. So let's keep it very simple. Spiritual power is not the power that is something which you're going to gain from the heaven or from the sky or from the temple or from the God that you believe. It is a power which is within you. So if you really want to make use of spiritual power is not the power outside of you. It is within you, and that is you.